Good evening. Many people have questioned why South Dakota Attorney General Jason Ravnsborg is only facing misdemeanor charges after hitting and killing Joe Beaver with his car.
This isn't the first case where careless or negligent driving led to a traffic death and the driver responsible walked away with only a slap on the wrist.
We've been looking into the lack of laws in South Dakota available to prosecutors in deadly cases like these.
According to state law, if nobody sees you and you see a pedestrian and you're not drunk, you can run over them and get away with a misdemeanor charge.
While Joe Beaver's family members are frustrated with the lack of more serious charges against Attorney General Jason Ravnsborg, they are far from alone.
I just feel that there has to be something in between vehicular homicide and careless driving. There just has to be something else that fits.
BARB OLSON's 19-year-old daughter, Caitlin Carmen, was killed on Highway 42 west of Sioux Falls after Mark Begeman rear-ended her car and pushed her into the path of an oncoming semi. Begeman received a $120 fine for careless driving.
Careless driving, you can get charged with that for sliding on ice and running into a fire hydrant. I don't think that's quite the same as taking somebody's life.
After her daughter's death, Olson wanted to change the law in South Dakota, but didn't succeed.
We need to join together and try to do something about this. I tried to do it on my own and just kept running into roadblocks.
Multiple attempts to change the law in South Dakota to allow for felony charges in cases like these failed in the legislature in 2006, 2014, 2016, and 2017.
Many states throughout this country have a negligent homicide law. South Dakota does not.
Negligent homicide is when there is no premeditated intent for another person to die, but rather when someone behaves in a way that he or she should have known is risky. Negligent homicide laws have been used to prosecute cases involving people who died in crashes in New Hampshire, Alaska, Arkansas, Wisconsin, Indiana, North Dakota, Texas, and New York, to name a few.
What I talk to most people about.
In order for prosecutors to charge Ravnsborg with second-degree manslaughter, a serious felony, they would have to have been able to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that he wasn't just negligent, but rather he was reckless.
When you apply the law, as I just stated, to the facts of this case, this is what you end up with. There's no evidence indicating that Ravnsborg's travel outside the lane of travel was done in such a manner to suggest a reckless disregard for the safety of others.
Olson's family could have pursued a case in civil court, but their attorney advised them it could take years and cause even more heartbreak, so they decided against it. Beaver's family has indicated they will file a case against Ravnsborg in civil court. Another felony charge of vehicular homicide doesn't fit in this case because in South Dakota, you must be under the influence of drugs or alcohol when the death occurs. Prosecutors say Ravnsborg was not. Iowa, Minnesota, and Nebraska all have vehicular homicide laws that can apply even if the driver is not under the influence. But even then, recklessness by the driver must be proven.